Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're finding the content useful, helpful, insightful, in any way, shape or form, or you just want to give this channel some love. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank all my community for leaving comments, being in chat lately. I really do love and adore you. You are awesome. So in tonight's episode, I want to talk to you about, yes, how to honour your asexual self whilst being friends with an allosexual, so someone who isn't asexual. But before we get into that, if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, Asexual of Asexual Diversity book. Hello, Sam! My best friend's here! Lots of love! Lovely to see you! Oh, and I got a thumbs up already. This is really awesome. So you might have remembered that in one of my previous videos, I shared with you the fact that I met this guy who applied to be in one of my Facebook groups. And he did admit that he wasn't asexual when I was questioning him, where he fell on the asexual spectrum. And we got talking, and he said about asexuality being salvation, which kind of like confused me a little bit. And it kind of made me think, Anyway, I did say in the video that I did about this person, I don't think the person had any bad intentions. I don't think they were a horrible person. And they removed themselves from the other asexual group they were in. And I explained to them that celibacy is not the same as being, or abstaining is not the same as being asexual. Someone who's abstaining or who's celibate, they are basically making themselves, so they're not having sex. So someone who's celibate or abstaining, they're not asexual. They would still get the need, urge, or want for sex, but they would just be stopping themselves from doing it, which is kind of like forcing themselves to stop, right? Which is very different to asexuals. We don't naturally want sex. We don't look at someone and go, oh, I want sex with that person. It doesn't happen for us, right? It doesn't, feel that way to us. Whereas people that are abstaining, they're holding themselves back from urges. They're particularly managing and controlling themselves. They're trying to control their urges, trying to dampen down the way they feel. They're trying to contain themselves. So they're purposely trying to do that. I'm not saying it's wrong to do that, because if that's what they want to do, more power to them. Great. And we did, come into the conversation, some people abstain for religious reasons. Again, that's not asexuality. So I had to make it clear to this person, and hi, Oak Tree. And so basically, I had to make it clear to this person, because I didn't want them to get the wrong idea about asexuality. I don't want them to be misguided like they seem to be, or misleaded or whatever. And I did say it's not right to pretend to be asexual when you're not, which they understood. And they did say they removed themselves, and they did, right? And so I said I wouldn't allow them in my asexual dating group, because obviously they're not asexual, it's for asexuals only. And they said, oh yeah, they'd be a winner or loser in that, so no, it's best, and I'm here if you want a message. Which I thought, okay, that's a bit strange, but thanks. And so we left it at that. And so after only a short period of time, I think it was like the next day or two, this person started messaging me on Facebook. But they weren't being horrible, they were being quite nice. And so as the time went on, the best part of a week went on, I realised that they were a nice person, that they weren't being horrible or nasty. They were different, and so I allowed them to become my friend on Facebook, because I told them, if you want to learn about asexuality, go on. They know that it's good, they want to learn, then go on my channel, which I believe they're subscribed to this channel, so hello if you're watching. And so they have since been really attentive, sending me message nearly every day. Usually I get a message in the morning when they wake up. They tell me about their day and share things, so it's kind of a bit like a boyfriend with act. But obviously they're not my boyfriend, and they're older than me, and I've told them that I'm interested in younger guys romantically, and they said, oh, that's good. So I'm presuming they're just like this with loads of women friends. I don't know, because I don't really know them, but they prove themselves like to be a nice person. They were sending me positive stuff most of the time. However, you have to continue to honor your asexuality and, you know, being asexual if you become friends with someone who isn't asexual, regardless of whether they're celibate or not. You know, you have to honor yourself and what makes you feel comfortable. So they shared one of the times when they were sharing a post, it was a post of a boy with a deer, like, and he had a bare chest, right? And I'm not interested in boys for a start because they're too young. And also, you know, like, I'm not into kids, right? As in wanting to be a parent or anything. And so I don't like, you know, if someone shows me a picture of a kid, to me it's a bit weird because I'm not used to that, because it's like not something I'm interested in, having kids of my own, you know? So it's kind of like I don't relate to that type of thing. And the fact that their chest was bare and the fact it was a deer, I just thought there's better ways of trying to get a message across than that. And it made me uncomfortable because I'm naked repulsed, right? I don't need to see that type of thing, especially not a young kid, you know, like a young boy. I know it's sweet and innocent. It's meant to be sweet and innocent. It's meant to be like nurturing and lover of animals. That's what he was trying to get across to me. But I didn't feel comfortable. So I said something that I didn't feel comfortable. It wasn't the type of thing I liked, you know. I'm new to repulsed. I don't appreciate it, basically. So then they removed the message, which I felt more comfortable around. So you have to understand that although, you know, you may become friends with people who are not asexual, you have to understand to still honor your asexuality and to respect yourself enough to speak up for yourself, you know, and explain that you don't like that type of thing. You know, at the end of the day, if this person goes from my life, they go from my life. But I mean, they didn't go because I didn't let them in my group, and they're still around messaging me. You know, I don't message them back all the time. I mean, because some of the things I don't relate to, and other times I'm just mega busy. You know, but you know, I have to say that they're more attentive than a potential boyfriend. At the moment, I'm like, what's going on? Not more attentive than my best friends, obviously, but you know, than a potential boyfriend. I'm like, what's going on? This guy seems to know how to treat a female, as in they message me in the morning, usually, not every time, but say, oh, hello, good morning, and send me like a message that's supposed to be inspirational. It's not always inspirational to me because I can't always understand what they're saying, despite they are actually Indian, but they're older than me, and they did insult me, which I had to explain. They were talking about me being, you know, much older than I was, you know, and that really annoyed me. I wasn't very happy about that, like, because I mean, I have a friend, best friend, my best female friend's 51 years old now, and as you know, I've told you before, I'm much younger than that in birth certificate age. And he was trying to work out how old I was because my parents had their 51st wedding anniversary the other day, but actually my parents kind of didn't have me late, but they probably had me a little bit later than some other people might have done. And so it's a bit presumptuous, and I just didn't like at all the fact that they were trying to guess my age. They're going, oh, you got 21st mindset and the experience of a 50-year-old. I'm like, I'm very much not 50-year-old. I'm not in that decade age range. Thank you very much. Much younger than that. I said, you're more like 50. And he said, oh, yeah, almost like soon to be 48 or something. I'm like, exactly, not me, you know? So I did get a bit peed off about that. Eventually they did say sorry if I upset you, because I don't want to, you know, I don't think of that birth certificate age anyway that I am. It's irrelevant to me. I don't like it. So, you know, you've got to honor yourself and honor how you feel and let them know, you know. So and like I said, but I mean, the person isn't horrible, but just sometimes they're a bit crazy, I think. Right? They said, I don't think in a crazy in a horrible way, but a way I'm different I'm used to. They send me these messages and sometimes I don't actually understand them. I don't get what they're saying. But they shared photographs of their job with me, you know, what they do and stuff like that, which is really, really nice, I think. And I think it's a shame more people who are interested in an actual relationship can't be more like that person, you know, like message in the morning, saying good night, sharing how their job goes and their day and stuff. I think that's really, really nice, actually. I'm like, why can't you be a much younger Indian guy and actually be in the UK? Like 20, 30 years younger would be good. Well, 20 years younger if he's nearly 48. Yeah, 20 years younger. Not anymore. Yeah, 20 years younger. Well, 20 years younger would be 28, wouldn't it? Maybe a little bit younger than that, but yeah. So you know, it's like, you know, they are nice. Apart, you know, sometimes the messages don't really fit my personality because I'm kind of a bit different to them, you know, and some of the stuff they're saying I don't really relate to so much. But yeah, so you know, if you are going to be friends, just honor your asexuality, honor what you like and don't like. So if you feel uncomfortable with something, then say something that you feel uncomfortable with it, you know. And obviously, if they haven't made any sex references, obviously, because I know I'm not interested in that, and I don't think they're actually that type of person that much anyway. I don't think they're that bothered. They seem more like a nature person and spiritual person, which I like anyway, which is really good. So I just want to let you know that it's very important that you do honor yourself, you know. And if you are around sexuals, obviously you can't stop sexuals being themselves. So my best friend, who's female, my female best friend, my asexual best friend's here, Sam, but my female best friend, she's not asexual. You know, she's definitely not asexual, but I don't stop her because I'm only sex repulsed for me. I'm not sex repulsed for other people. I don't mind if she talks to me about sex or her sex life. Not that she really does these days because she's got a partner now, but a committed, you know, like one partner person. You know, like she before she's like not had a serious committed relationship for a while, but she's in a very, very serious committed long-term relationship now. But before then, you know, like her friend is very sexual. Her friend's a sexual cougar, whereas I'm an asexual cougar. I'm asexually attracted to younger guys, so aesthetically and romantically, but not wanting to have sex. Whereas her other best friend is a sexual cougar. So she's really into younger guys in their 20s, and she's like, I think she's like 65 or something. She doesn't look it though. She looks much younger than that. And so, you know, she's really, you know, her friend's really nice as well. Her friend's very, very, you know, loud and stuff. But, you know, sometimes it gets a bit much, the sexual talk. But I don't, you know, like having said to honor your asexuality, you know, because I don't get sex repulse for other people, you know, it's fine. Apart from sometimes it goes a little bit far, but you also have to respect the sexual person as well and understand that you can't stop them from being their sexual self. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, like her and her other friend once were talking really in depth about women's parts and all sorts, and that did get a bit much, but I just kind of went off and did my dancing. Because I had a DJ playing. I'm like, okay, that's my cue to go and do some dancing because I'm a bit uncomfortable now. I've heard enough. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to understand that, you know, if you're going to be like have a best friend who's the opposite in sexuality to you, you've also got to honor their sexuality as well and try and find a balance between what's comfortable enough for you to tolerate and what isn't. And you have to say something. Like if my friend sends me a picture at Christmas, she usually forwards a picture which is she sends to a lot of people, I think, and it's this picture of these guys at the Christmas tree and they're naked. You can just see the backside and stuff, and you can see their hands over their front bit, and it's like, oh, they finished at my place, now they're going to come to yours. And I think it's just a generic message that she just forwards to her friends, but I hate it because I'm naked repulsed. And I always send her a message back going, honey, you do realize I'm naked, because we call each other honey though, even though we're not like attracted to each other. You know, I say, honey, you know, I am nudity repulsed. You do know that? And she's like, oh, sorry, but I think she just sends it to multitude of people. So yeah, I don't like that at all. Oh, hi, Richard. Nice to see you. Lots of love to you too. Lots of love. Nice to see you. So yeah, oh yeah, and please give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. Appreciate that. So yeah, it's very important that you honor asexuality, you speak up when things are uncomfortable. You also have to honor the fact that other people do have different sexualities as well. And sometimes, you know, it might be a case of you've just got to kind of leave the scene, as it were, or go off on your own and do something else and then come back when you can tolerate what's going on, you know, or just let them know that you're a bit uncomfortable or whatever. But I'm lucky in the fact that I'm sex repulsed, but not for other people, because that means I can talk quite extensively about it. But there is a point where it does start making me feel a bit like, pass the sick bucket type of queasiness, do you know what I mean? I do get a bit like that, even me, even though I talk about it a lot, you know. So I think it's really important that you do, especially in private messages, you do mention something, because private messages are very isolated incidents. I think, you know, it's not like you're in a big room full of people with all different sexualities. If they're private messaging specifically you, it's a good time to like say something, you know, that if you feel really uncomfortable and feel like it's not adding to your life, you're feeling a bit like icky about it, you know, like just say, you know, I'm that's not my thing, do you know what I mean? I appreciate that's not my thing, you know what I mean? So it's very, very important that you do speak up and speak out, because people have to understand what you're uncomfortable with. And particularly with this guy who's like kind of new to learning about asexuality, who's on Facebook, you know, I feel it's better for me to speak out and say what I do and don't like from the beginning, so they know, you know. So don't start sending me stuff like that again, because it just makes me cringe, do you know what I mean? I know it's different if you're not naked repulsed as well, but I'm very naked repulsed, and it's like, ugh, I just don't like it. I don't see a need for it, even in an innocent way. I'm not interested in nude paintings. I'm not interested in nudity in sculptures or anything like that. You know, it just doesn't appeal to me, and I don't get anything from it apart from disgust, really. And so yeah, please speak up for yourself. Do let people know about your asexuality and your uncomfortability, but also we have to recognize that other people have got sexualities as well, and that we've got to try and like work out what's comfortable enough for us to be around, you know. I mean, there might be some people in your life that's just completely sex obsessed that you do have to cut out when you find out you're asexual, because you just might not want to hear that type of thing anymore. You might be so like thinking you had to put up with it, and now you know there's hundreds of thousands of asexuals out there. You don't need to be like you know, just restricting yourself to a few. Same here with the pictures. Are you like that as well, Richard? Yeah, I don't like nudity. I don't like it in sculptures, paintings, anything. I don't see the point of it. It's just like, you know, like I mean, like if I was in a serious committed relationship and was with a guy, obviously, then I could see his chest naked, but that would be about it. I'm not interested in seeing anything else naked. And I prefer him with his clothes on anyway, as I like kissing with my clothes on. But I don't mind kissing a guy's chest. I got quite used to it. I didn't used to be that into it, but I'm quite into it now. I do quite enjoy that myself, if he's got no hair on his chest. But you know, I do love clothes. You know, I think clothes make a person look uber attractive more than the naked body. I just think it just polishes off their face and just makes their hair look sparkling and gleaming. And it, you know, some colors in the clothes really bring out a person's eyes, you know. I just feel like if I'm kissing, I love kissing with clothes on, you know, and getting as close as I can with clothes on. There's just something quite sensual about that, which is in a more loving, kind of romantic, kind of exciting way for me. And I just really prefer that type of thing, you know. I'd love it when a guy wears street clothes, you know, which is probably not everyone's cup of tea, but you know, when you know, the street dance movies, when they wear those type of clothes, and it's just like, oh man, I'm in the hood. It's just so great. I love the hoodies and the long hoodies and the trainers and the gold chains. Sometimes I think guys look quite good with jewelry on, actually, but you've got to make sure that if you're kissing, the jewelry doesn't get in the way and start hurting you. Be careful of that. And so, you know, I do think clothes maketh the man, as it says. But I think I look much better with my clothes on, you know. I've got used to my naked body more, but that took me ages to get used to that. It wasn't something I was very used to, but I prefer just me to see that. I don't really want a guy to see that. There's no need. And I do look much better clothed, do you know what I mean? And so I think it's better as well, if you do intend to get into a relationship, that you do make it clear from the beginning what you're comfortable and not comfortable with. Because obviously when you actually get into a relationship, you're going to be spending a lot of your time day in, day out with this person. So it's even more essential you find out and discover by way of asking questions, and also by seeing their actions and reactions to things you don't do and don't do, if they're going to be suitable for you going forward in terms of your comfortability. Because there's one thing to say you don't like something, but is the person actually going to take notice of you? Are they going to work with you, or are they going to just, like, you know, cut you off, or, you know, not listen to what you say, or put you down, or, you know, like, kind of dismiss what you like and don't like? So you have to be very, very careful that you say specifically what you like and don't like, and make sure that they've actually acknowledged that, because you don't want to be like going along in a potential relationship, or actually in a relationship, when you're really uncomfortable and the person is just making you feel worse, because it's going to make you very anxious. Now, I get relationship anxiety as it is, so whoever I get within the relationship in the future, if I ever get with anyone, because I'm quite enjoying my single life at the moment, and I'm too busy for that at the moment, but if I ever get with anyone, they're going to have to understand an anxious personality. So I was learning about different personality types, and some people can have the avoidant personality type. So in a relationship, that means where they avoid saying things that they do and do not like, which is what you shouldn't do. And then you can have the anxious personality type, who's kind of worried all the time about the relationship, like, are they still there? Are they still in the relationship? Do they still care? All this type of thing. So avoidant types, like, kind of avoid issues and topics and things that need to be brought up, and an anxious personality will worry about all the things all the time. So whatever type of personality you've got to understand that you have to explain this to the person that you're going to be in the relationship with. Some, you know, like, for example, if you've got an anxious personality type and the person decides they're going to go offline for several hours, you're not going to hear from them. You know, you'd need to let the person know who's got the anxious personality type, hey, I'm going to be offline for approximately X amount, or specifically X amount of hours, and then I'll contact you like the next day or something like that, if you're in a relationship, you know what I mean, if you're used to talking regularly. And then the avoidant type of personality would need to actually, you know, try and open up about what the problem is, you know. Because the thing is, if you don't say something, then problems just boil up and boil up. But it's best to, like, ask questions to a person, like, so how are you feeling the friendship's going? How are you feeling the relationship's going? What problems have come up for you? You know, how effectively do you feel I'm listening? Like, what can I listen better on? What can I do to better help you in this relationship or even friendship? You know, like, how are things going forward with us? How's things working between us? All these type of, like, open questions, like how, when, you know, what type of thing are you feeling, so that it gives a person a chance to actually let you know, and you can move forward in the friendship or relationship. It's very important you do stand your ground, though, and make it clear about things you're really uncomfortable. And if you've got any sexuals that are your friends that are really saying stuff that's not very nice and that's specifically going on about it, then you need to put a stop to it, because no one should be, you know, living a life of uncomfortability all the time. It's not good. So do stick up for yourself, do express your concerns, or do say you don't like something, and that's perfectly valid. You're perfectly right, within your rights to say that, and to walk away if you need to. Okay, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape, or form. You know, there's no reason why you can't be friends with someone of a different sexuality. You just have to work out how it's going to be best made comfortable for both of you, really, going forward. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now, and please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. And so I want to thank everyone for being in the chat today. Best friend Sam, and Richard, Howard, and hi to anyone else who's been in chat as well. I really, really appreciate you, and I look forward to you seeing on the next live stream or video. Until next time, brace your quirky. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.